Hello folks and welcome to the preview for the match between Manchester City and Liverpool, one of the clashes of the Premier League season, right here on footballtips.com. Well folks, the match will take place this Sunday at 4 o'clock, and having a look at the odds coming into it, no surprise to see Manchester City, they're the current favourites to win the match. Of course, they're looking to close the gap on Manchester United at the top of the league. You can get them at best price with Betfred at 17 to 20 to claim all 3 points. If you do fancy Brendan Rodgers' side, of course, they did pick up a point against Arsenal on Wednesday night. They're currently best price 7 to 2, again with Betfred. And if you do think the draw is an option, it was a 2-all draw earlier on in the season at Anfield. So a draw for this game is 11 to 4 with Stan James. So having a look, coming into the match, having a look at the form, of course, Manchester City, they were on a fine run of form. They had won 4 on the bounce in the Premier League, I suppose, until they faced QPR on Tuesday night. And no doubt Roberto Mancini would be massively frustrated by the fact they only came away with a point against the bottom side in the Premier League. It wasn't an all draw. City have continued this I suppose, incredible record. They've yet to concede a goal in 2013. That's 6 games now on the bounce without actually conceding a goal. From a Liverpool side of things, Liverpool, as we mentioned, they did pick up a draw in that pulsating 2-all draw with Arsenal. Mixed feelings was coming off the pitch. They were, from throwing away a 2-goal lead, you may feel to be disappointed, but it looked like Arsenal were somewhat unlucky not to get a winner in the dying minutes. So having a look at it, as you mentioned before, Liverpool, they've won 3 of their last 5 and are currently 7 to 2 to win the match. First goal scorer is always such a popular market with punters out there, and two players that are very much seem to be at the top of their game at the minute. Sergio Aguero coming back from injury from Man City. He's so crucial for Man City in this title race. If you do fancy him to get the first goal with Sky Bet, it's a 9 to 2 shot. Again, these are all best price in the industry. Carlos Tevez, his strike partner, which he probably play with up front again on Sunday, he's a 5 to 1 shot with Sky Bet. But the standout price for me is Coral Bookmakers. They're going 7 to 1 on Luis Suarez to get the first goal of the game. He scored the first against Oldham in the FA Cup. He got the first against Arsenal again on Wednesday night in that 2-all draw. He's 7 to 1 to get the first goal with Coral Bookmakers. I'd snap their hand off. I think it's a fantastic price for the bookmakers to be offering the punters. If you do fancy Daniel Sturridge, of course, he did start his Anfield career, with 3 goals in 3 games. Didn't hit the target, didn't find the back of the net against Oldham or Arsenal, but he's an 8 to 1 shot to score the first goal of the game against Man City on Sunday. So, speaking of who's going to score first and who's going to score last, if you look at Paddy Power, they're doing a fantastic cashback special for this game. It really is standout. They're going to refund selected bets if Sergio Aguero or Luis Suarez score the last goal of the game. So it really is standout in the industry. If Sergio Aguero or Luis Suarez score the last goal of the game, Paddy Power will refund selected bets. Make sure you log on to footballtips.com for all the information on that one, folks. Well, I mentioned now my prediction for this one. As I was tipping up Luis Suarez, of course, to get the first goal of the game, but I'm going to cover that bet slightly. We have mentioned that Man City haven't conceded in the Premier League so far in the new year. I think that may just continue if Suarez doesn't hit the back of the net. So having a look and see, Betfred are going 11 to 1 on Man City to win 2-0. So I'm going to have a small fiver on that one again for the weekend. Now, we do have tips on all 10 Premier League games as well as this clash at the Etihad Stadium on Sunday. So all you have to do is log on to footballtips.com. You'll have all our predictions and our tips for this weekend and all the season ahead. So make sure just to log on to footballtips.com, or you can follow us on Twitter at footballtips.